Hey guys, Brittany Krause here. I am going to talk about video games today. I'll start off by saying that I played Big Buck Hunter this week. I tried very hard to play for 1 hour and I failed miserably. I just couldn't concentrate. I was really out of my element. I went to a different place than where I usually hang out. I am a vegetarian, and so for me to go up and try and shoot some animals. It was really awkward, and I had a very hard time with it. It made me think about children and how they're able to play video games for hours and hours and hours on end, but then have a hard time concentrating on school. And how I can sit and read for hours and hours and hours, but I definitely could not play a video game. And there's this kind of different learning style, different, capabilities, and how we're addressing education seems to be very much geared towards someone who thinks like me, and it should be geared towards someone who thinks like children think nowadays. And not that all children think the same way, or not that, all kids play video games, or all kids who play video games aren't able to concentrate in school. But I definitely think that there's a large population of kids out there who aren't getting it because it's not being approached in a way that they're able to understand, because this is how they understand the world. This is how they are spending their time, and this is what they like to do. And we should potentially try and bridge that gap in different ways. Um, a lot of that I got from Zimmerman. He was awesome and really funny, and I really liked his TED talk. I thought that Guy was very interesting. It had some really interesting points about um, situated embodied learning. You talked about Anant Pai, who was implementing the program that he wrote in his classroom, and it's over in White Bear. I was like, I want to go and see that classroom. This sounds so cool. I can't believe he brought his kids' reading and math levels up by like a grade and a half, was it? In like 6 months. It was amazing. Really, really cool stuff. Revolutionary, and inspiring. Honestly, I could never write a video game because I don't even know how to play one. But, you know, man, if he was selling that video game, that would be awesome. I had a little bit of a problem with Ellie Carr. I think that she oversimplified the issue. I think that she took the education gap, and she said that it is boys underperforming in A, B, C, and D. And then she also said that boys needed to fit into this little square box of what I think a boy is and how I think a boy learns. And this is how we can potentially remedy that problem. I think that that's very, very dangerous, and it made me very uncomfortable to watch her talk about it for a couple of reasons. Number one, I thought that she was putting heterosexual, gender stereotypical stereotypes on children, which is dangerous, and I personally feel like morally wrong, to ever say this is what I think a boy is, and this is how I think boys act, and this is how I want to approach teaching boys. I think it's wrong because children fit into many different roles culturally. And you can look at African American culture, you can look at Native American culture, you can look at Asian American culture, and how different those cultures are, and also how different the roles within those cultures are as well. You can look at family dynamics, socioeconomic status, you can look at neighborhoods. I definitely think that all of these things play a part in child development and play a huge part in how a child looks at education and what a child needs from their education. And to say, because I think you look like a boy and what I view as a stereotypical boy, I think you deserve this kind of an education. This is what you need. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with gender stereotypes. I have a problem with placing them around children. She brought up some good points about, children not fitting into the school system, and being told from a very young age that they're not smart, because of the way that they learn and the way that they're different. I think that you can definitely broaden that along, you know, you can cross those gender lines and say there are a lot of girls that feel stupid and feel like they don't belong in school for one reason or another. And there are a lot of African American boys that feel like they don't belong in school, and a lot of Native American boys that feel like they don't belong in school. And the gap between those students is huge. It's absolutely huge. And to say that it's just boys, and to say that every boy is the same, unless, according to Allie, you look a little bit different. If you look like a little bit different kind of a boy, then this doesn't apply to you. I think it's wrong. Good points generally, on how to address some issues, but definitely an oversimplification. All right, it's been 6 minutes, so I'm gonna go. It was a hard week. This was it made me look at children, very differently, and it made me be able to put myself in their shoes and be able to kind of realize that the way that I teach children and the way that I have envisioned teaching children is very much based on how I learn and how my brain works. And that is potentially very different than how a lot of children think and learn. And I'm not really sure yet how to go about remedying that, but eye-awakening, eye-opening. Yeah, so thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate you stopping by. As always, please feel free to leave comments or posts or get a hold of me with any questions. Have a great week. We'll see you all on Tuesday.